Hi, I'm Kerry, host of Best of Us Investors, and I hope you saw in the thumbnail that this is clickbait. Why did I do clickbait? Well, I got to looking at my videos since I started, and the videos that you respond to as viewers are those where I tell you what you want to hear as opposed to what I think you should hear. Let me give you an example. Over the last year, my #1 video, as far as views, was stocks to buy to get a 22x return. #2 was NEO at 40 going to 400. That's what you wanted to hear. Number 3 was 3 stocks to make me a millionaire. Okay. #4 was 1,000 stocks, 1,000 shares of guilt at $9 equals 900,000. And #5 was 2 stocks that will grow 30x. That's what you want to hear. On the other side, if I do a video like I did last week, where I told you about spatial technology and how spatial computing was going to change your world, and how Apple has just introduced the camera that's going to make that possible, you don't watch it. You don't respond to it. That's what I want to tell you. I also have learned that the worst thing I can do is tell you about genome sequencing and genome editing, the two things that I think that are going to change your life more than anything has changed your life as long as you've lived. But you don't want to hear about that. You don't want to hear about the healthcare revolution that I've been beating the drum for the last year. It doesn't get views. You don't like supply chain. Even though the national news is beating the drum on it, that isn't what you want to hear. You want to hear that NEO's going to 400. I'm just not going to tell you that. You certainly don't want to hear about the spatial revolution, why the Apple phone has put the new little lenses on the back, and you don't want to hear about how China is going to try to take over our world. Those aren't things you want to hear about. And I know that because they don't get good views. But that's not what this channel is all about. It's not about getting good views. It's about building something different. I've reached out to some people, Seeking Alpha in particular, and I've asked them if I could help them grow their subscriptions by bringing some of their authors, some of their writers onto the channel to explain their documents, their writings in more detail. And they've agreed to do that. And that's going to become a part of this channel. The other big part of this channel is I recognize that you and I have to compete with big money, and we don't stand a chance. They just got bigger money than we do. But what we can do is gather brains. And that's what I'm talking about in building the tribe. So that's what this video is going to be all about. Me explaining to you why I do what I do, and inviting you to be a part of it if you so choose. But I need to kind of cover my and tell you I'm not your financial advisor. I'm here to educate you. I'm here to share my knowledge and experience with you.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Griegmeyer.
Okay, let me give you some background. In my lifetime, the world has changed dramatically. I'm 77 years old, so I've seen a lot. I've seen the first airplane take flight. I've seen the automobile industry change from planned obsolescence to giving us a fair break with our automobiles. And then really the big changes were the digital revolution, which I am now a part of. And then followed that was the e-commerce revolution. And then following that was the social media revolution. And now we're in the midst of the EV revolution. Each of those were roughly 10 years apart. And I've shown you graphs that I show you that. But what's happened now as a result of the pandemic and as a result of quantum computing and artificial intelligence, the time frame is speeding up. The things are happening much faster than they ever have. We used to talk about Moore's law, that every so many years the computing power would double. Well, it's growing exponentially. The computing power as a part of artificial intelligence is growing exponentially, and so we're seeing the healthcare revolution, the supply chain correction, this new what I just talked about recently, the spatial revolution, and I believe that we have, as investors, have an opportunity to, if we can figure out the stocks that are going to take us there, and we can do it on a timely basis and get them while they're still small, we can change our lives entirely. We can become wealthy, and particularly young people, if they can figure this out. So with that in mind, that's what I want to talk about. The other issue that I trouble with is I'm dealing with some very, very smart people. I'm dealing with Goldman Sachs and J.P. Morgan and BlackRock and all these hedge funds, and they have more resources than I do. They can hire graduates of the best business schools and bring them in and put them in front of the best computing technology and do day trading and multi-second trading. And I can't compete with that. They can also do research that I can't do. So I either have to get out of the game or I have to find a different way to play it. And that's what I'm trying to do. And that's why I'm trying to build a tribe. I'm trying to build my own quantum computer of human beings who can help me find, as I just this week did a video on the, what is it called? The virtual, not the virtual, the spatial computing. I don't know a lot about that. I've just discovered, I've subscribed to a service. I've shared their research with my Discord, and I'm going to have a meeting, in fact, this afternoon at 1 p.m. with my tribe, and I'm going to ask them, okay, this is the spatial computing area. Let's dig into it, and I gave them 3 stocks. Let's find out those that are down in the $5 range that are going to be big players in this, that are going to be gobbled up by the big 6, and make sure that we are a part of this. So, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to my 2 days ago video, and this is crazy that I'm going to be able to go on to Amazon, and I'm going to be able to pull up my latest sports coat that I think I want. You know, maybe it's pink, and I'm going to be able to take my camera and have it take a picture of me, and this spatial technology will transfer that coat and put it on my body, and I can then turn and look at it, and I can even turn around and see what it looks like from the back end view. I can do that with anything I want to buy. If I want to refurnish my family room, if I want to take a ride in a car, whatever. It's all going to be possible. This is new technology. I don't know a lot about it other than what I just told you. So I'm asking my tribe for help. What that will do, as I said, is we'll find a $5 stock that is new and innovative in this area, and we'll buy it, and it'll make us multimillionaires. We're going to do that in genome sequencing. We're going to do it in supply chain and 3D printing. Let me show you what I hold right now and where I think this is going, and give you the projections. I've said, I've had people say, well, we don't know what you buy. I'm not hiding anything. Okay, look at, this is my portfolio. This is where I think it's going. So this is my portfolio, what I'm going to show you here, and I've broken it down on an Excel spreadsheet into the categories that I think are going to drive the future of the market and where I'm going to get my growth, and I'm going to project for you exactly what I think that growth is. As I've been beating on a drum for about a year now, I think there's a healthcare revolution going on. And actually, it's been for 2 years, and I think they're going to be in genome editing, genome sequencing, pharma, artificial intelligence, and protein sequencing. What I'm showing you here is the gain that or what I currently hold in each of these stocks, and a 67% X factor that I think I'm going to receive over the next 8 years. What I then do is go and do that in each of those revolutionary categories that I think are going to move the market. I've just added the spatial computing, and I've put in 3 stocks that I'm asking my tribe to help me determine if these are the ones that we want to invest in, and in fact, are there others? And I'm seeking the help of my tribe for that. The next element is that of the supply chain, and here I'm expecting a 17% X in the next 8 years, and that's tied up in 3D printing, cybersecurity, and fintech. And again, I'm projecting, showing you what I hold now in dollar amount and what I'm projecting that is going to grow to in 8 years. Then I have my stables, and that is the big 6, the Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Google, Microsoft, and Tesla. You'll notice I don't own any Tesla at this point because I think there is another element that has to be considered, and that is China. And I surmised that Tesla was my only real heavy exposure to China, and so I liquidated. And I liquidated some of the big 6, basically to raise $277,000 worth of cash, and that cash is there for the purpose of, I think there is going to be a dip as a result of increased interest rates, increased inflation, and then the China situation, and I want to have an opportunity to buy into it, and I'll probably use some of that $277,000 to build a portfolio in the spatial computing revolution. So that's my holdings. Again, I'm telling you what I think I want you to know, not what I think you want to hear. I don't think that's in your best interest for me to pander to you. I apologize for the clickbait, but I hope you've gotten this far in the video and you see what I'm trying to do and how I'm trying to help you. Okay, that's transparency, that's open, that's everything. So I ask you, you take a look at it. If you want to be a part of this movement, the Best of Us Investors Tribe, and I wrote a book about it, and it's in the description, or come to Best of Us Investors and try out our start it whenever you want, and you don't get billed until the first of the month. And if it isn't for you, go away, and it doesn't cost you anything. But if you want to be a part of it, it's $10 a month. And if I can't make you $10 a month, I'm sorry. All right, that's my take on where the future is going. And again, I apologize for the clickbait, but I really do hope that you learn something from this and you change your life for the better. Talk to you again tomorrow.